Hello, my name is Tyson Adams. This is my sixth attempt to make a video about basic programming with minimum effective dose changes, starting with the novice linear progression. As a description of the novice linear progression is an A-B program. Program A, workout A, you squat 3 times 5 at some given weight. You either bench press or press 3 by 5 at some given weight, and then you deadlift at the end, working up to 1 set of 5, and then you walk out of the gym. Program B is basically identical. You squat 3 by 5. You do whichever pressing movement you did not do on day A. So if you benched on day A, you would press on day B. If you pressed on day A, you would bench on day B. You do 3 sets of 5 of that exercise, and then you deadlift 1 set of 5. On the squat, you will increase your weight by some given amount of weight. For some people, that will be a very small amount of weight, 2.5 pounds or less. Other people may make 5-pound jumps more typically. And some very strong, very athletic, usually very young people may make 10-pound jumps for a short period of time before they need to make 5-pound jumps. And eventually, unlikely to make 2.5-pound jumps for the very athletic, but some may. The bench press and the press make 5-pound jumps for short periods of time. The press usually very quickly moves to 2.5 pounds for very young athletic people, but many older, smaller people of both genders may make 2.5-pound jumps in the beginning and even lower weight jumps of as low as a half or quarter pound. The deadlift is similar to the squat in that for many people, they can make 5-pound jumps. Very few people will make 10-pound jumps or even larger for a short period of time before the jumps have to be smaller. And older, smaller, less athletic people may need to make 2.5-pound jumps, but they may make 5-pound jumps for a short period of time. For the sake of this discussion, I am going to discuss this program as a 3-day-a-week program, so that, which is the traditional way it is done, although some people may choose to do this twice a week. And you can see that you end up squatting 3 times a week, deadlifting 3 times a week, and either bench pressing twice a week or pressing twice a week. And whichever one you do twice a week, you do the other once a week. So they average 1.5 times per week. Now, for people who have done a lot of bench pressing, which there are many people that have done a lot of bench pressing but have not done a lot of other lifts, the bench press is probably going to stall out first. But it may be the press. The lower frequency of these lifts, if you've never lifted before in your life, the first thing that may happen is either the squat or the deadlift may start to feel pretty burdensome. So we'll start with the squat since it's the first lift of the program. As you're going up, say we're going up 5 pounds at each workout, there will be a point where Friday was very difficult, you struggled to get your 3 sets of 5, and on Monday you came in and you again barely made the 3 sets of 5, even though you had 2 days of break, and it is clear that on Wednesday you will not be able to get your increased 5-pound lift. So you can simply reduce this to 80% of the weight that you did on Monday, and then add 5 pounds on Friday to the squat weight of Monday. This can continue for quite some time, or some weeks for many people, but eventually you may need to, in order to continue to put weight on the bar, you may need to decrease the number of reps on your 3rd workout of the week so that you can continue to increase the weight. And that hopefully will allow you to continue to increase your 3x5 weight a little bit, but probably not. This will eventually become a volume day where the weight may actually drop in order to continue to drive stress so that you continue to increase weight on Friday. This may drop by 10% or so and may actually increase in volume. So you're getting tonnage, you're working with tonnage on this day rather than intensity, which is the total weight times the sets times the reps. And as long as the tonnage is going up week to week, you're still making progress on your volume and you continue to drive intensity on this day. There may be a point where you've increased this again. You end up doing 5x5s. This may eventually decrease to 3x2s. This may also eventually end up a top set of 2 or 3 with back off sets of either the same rep range or 5s, a couple sets. For the bench press and the press, what has worked for me when my weight starts to stall is simply switching to 4x4. So you actually get more volume, you get one more rep total, which increases the tonnage, but it's a little easier to get 4 repetitions than it is to get 5. So you can continue to increase for a while. Many coaches go to 5x3 instead on these exercises as their first change. And I think that's perfectly reasonable. For the deadlift, what often happens if you're doing a 3-day program is deadlifting every session starts to become quite arduous. And so they simply drop the deadlift out in the middle of the week and they put in a barbell row, or for certain populations, a clean. And the clean tends to be sets of 3, maybe 5x3. The barbell row tends to be more reps, so possibly 2 or 3 sets of 8 reps. And that will allow you to continue to increase the deadlift for a while. Eventually, you may have to switch this to 2 sets of 3 in order to keep driving the weight up. But this will allow you to get one more rep, which increases the tonnage and the magnitude or the weight on the bar. At some point, as you're going along here, you may want to add a day. And what I have found worked well for me was I do a full body program. I know a lot of people do an upper body, lower body split. That's sort of the traditional, and I think the majority of coaches in our community do that. However, what has worked well for me was to go to a full body split where the bench press becomes my Monday heavy day, and it will be probably 3x3 for the most part. My volume work becomes the squat, and it happens after the bench press. And it's usually by then it's either a 3x5 or a 4x5 at some given weight. My second workout of the week ends up my deadlift day. And it is usually sets of 2, 2x3, or 2x2 in the beginning. Eventually the volume tends to go up with the top set. And the press becomes the accessory work. And by then it is usually 4x5 volume day for the most part. And for now, we don't have much accessory work. There may be some accessory work added in later. Friday becomes my squat day, and it tends to be this type of pattern, a 3x3, a 3x2, a top set of 2 with some back off sets of 3 or 5. And then I bench press for volume on my third workout of the week, which by this time is usually 4x5 or 5x5. And then my Saturday becomes press intensity, so it will be 3x3 or 3x2 or top set of 2 or 1 if I'm peaking, and some back off work of similar rep range or maybe more reps, and then deadlift volume. So this is usually 2x5 or usually around 2x5. It may even increase eventually to 3x5. And so then what ends up happening is this becomes my heavy bench day and my volume squat day, my heavy deadlift day, and my volume press day, my heavy squat day, my volume bench day, and my heavy press day, and my volume deadlift day.